Hello and welcome back to my series on learning Java, and today we are talking about a principle called inheritance. To begin with, I've got some of the code that we've used before, our class person with its properties name, age, and favorite number, the constructor with all three of those properties, and the info method, and I've added one more method, and then I have the code that defines our person Amanda and calls the info method to show the last method that I just added. I'm going to print Amanda.simple method, and no matter what this is, it's just going to print the number 2. That's just to demonstrate what the class we already have is and how it's going to function. We've seen this class before. I don't need to. I'm going to do something a little bit crazy now. I'm inside the class person. I'm going to define another class called student. You are allowed to put classes inside other classes, and to a degree they function a lot like any of the other objects that are inside a class, like the properties we have up here, but they also have all of the properties of classes. So I'm going to put one new property inside student objects. They're going to be person objects, so they have all of the properties and methods of person, but they will also have the properties and methods of student. That's the principle of inheritance. The class student will inherit everything from the class person and add on to it. We call these a parent class and this a child class. So this property is going to be a string called school, what school the student is at, and then I will put a constructor in. So remember, we have just the name of the class, but it's a method. It doesn't have a return type. We've got string. So the same 3 properties as before, name, age, and favorite number. But also, I'm going to call this last parameter school at the school the student is at. Then I could write out this code again here, because remember, an object in this, a student object is going to inherit all of the properties and methods of a person object. So it also has name, age, and favorite number. If I copy this code and put it in here, it would work. But a lot of things in Java are there to simplify the time of the writer. So anytime you find yourself rewriting code, you likely don't have to. There's ways that you can avoid doing that. So here we have we can use a keyword called super, and all super says is call the constructor of the parent class. So I have to pass into this the same parameters that this expects: the name, the age, and the favorite number. I'm just going to write them out again. Number. There. Why is this? What the hell? Okay. This is apparently not going to work. Oh, I forgot something important here. In order to make this work as a child class, I have to write extends person. Even though it's inside person already, that doesn't really matter here. All that we have to tell it is that we're extending another class. And that tells this super method that we can call the constructor of the parent class, which we defined up here as person. And then after this, I have one more thing that I haven't used yet, this parameter. So I'm going to define school property up here to be the value that we pass in as school at. I'm going to add 2 methods. One of them is totally new. So just like any other method, void, it doesn't return anything, or info, no parameters, we don't put in anything. And it's going to print name plus is currently rolled. School, so it's the name of the school, then period. I could stop and add something separate, but because it's going to be another string, I'm just going to keep writing here. They are in end quote, plus we're going to subtract 5 from the age. So this will grades loosely 5 less than your age. So I'm just going to use that as our metric. So ordinal number and th. So that's what I'm doing here. I need a plus. Part of programming is figuring out things that you've done wrong and why your editor is yelling at you. And right now I have no idea, but this code should be working. So I'm going to leave it alone. And as you've noticed, I have a lot of errors in other places as well from this print method. So we're just going to assume that this is doing what I want it to do and not worry about what is going wrong. I'm going to add another method, and this time I'm going to call it simple method. Now, you might be saying, wait, we've already got a method called simple method. It's right here. Remember that an object that's in the child class is going to have all the properties and methods of the parent class. So if I define simple method here, oh, that's not what I thought it was going to say. It has to, if I define simple method here, then an object in student will have both simple method and simple method. We can't have two methods with the same name and the same arguments. So I have to add another condition called @override. And Java sees this and says, whatever method we have under it, it's going to be a method you think you already have, but we're going to define it again and use the new one, not the old one. So I'm going to have this, instead of returning 2, it's going to return 34. And all the colors are being weird right now. But I like using the colors. They're really easy to see in this code editor what your different things are doing. Sometimes they don't work. Code editors like it. But now to demonstrate what the student class is and how it works, I'm going to write person.student because I defined student as a class inside the person class. It is a property of the person class. So I have to use the dot notation to indicate that student is inside person and not its own separate thing. If I had written student outside person, then I wouldn't have to do this. We'll see that a little bit in the next video. And I'm going to call this Barry S. S for student is a new. Remember, we have to write the class again for the constructor. Name is Barry, age 10 this time. Favorite number is 24, and is at Washington School. Now I can call Barry as .info. Remember, because the student, it has the properties of person, so we can call the methods from person. This is going to return exactly what we expect it to from person. Barry is 10 years old, and their favorite number is 4. Also call the new methods like more info. Barry is currently enrolled at Washington Middle School. They are in 5th grade. That's what I expected to tell me. And then if I print Barry S dot simple method, I've overridden. If it was just a person, I would see this, but student overrides that method and gives it something different to do. And so what we will see is 34, because this is a student. That's it for this video, and I'll see you next time.